back in Spartanburg. Halftime score, it is Furman 44, Wofford 43, getting you set for the start of the second half of play. And welcome back, everyone. Brock Bowling, Dean Keener with you. And Dean, it was a back and forth first half. Both teams made runs. Let's start with Furman. How about the sharp shooting of number one, J.P. Pegues? 4 threes made in the first half.
Yeah, both point guards were dialed in from the start, offensively and defensively. J.P. Pegues was the one, though. I mean, 16 points. I mean, he was fantastic right out of the gate, and he did it in a variety of ways. Right, he was able to make some threes behind the arc. He was 4 of 7. But he also was able to get to the basket a couple of times. Right there, he just blows by the Wofford defense, and then Foster with the rebound, knocks down yet another 3. He was outstanding. But not to be outdone, Jackson Pavletsky, the freshman from Wisconsin, mid-level drive, then he gets a 4-point play in the corner. He put 18 minutes of quality offense and defense. Think about this, he had 15 points. He played 18 minutes, and as good as he was offensively, putting points on the board, he had 0 turnovers.
Here's a look at the first half game summary. We talked about J.P. Pegues, 4 threes made, 6 baskets overall, 16 points. Pavletsky, the freshman for Wofford, 15. Field goal percentages in favor of Wofford. Second chance points, 12-0 in favor of Furman.
Yeah, and you're worried if you're Bob Rich, you can't let Wofford shoot 58% again. You've got to tighten the defense up. You can't just let your guys assume they're going to go on the road and they're going to outscore the opponent. If you're Dwight Perry, you've got some things offensively, but defensively, you've got to make sure you get back in transition.
So the start of the second half, Wofford with the ball first, down 1. Furman 13-1 this year when leading at the break. Corey Tripp's 3 goes down. Instant offense to begin the second half.
They wanted to get Messiah Jones on the post-up, and he found Tripp outside.
Collision, no call. They play on, and here comes Wofford in the lead by 2 after that Tripp 3. A possession to go. Pavletsky finds Tripp, hit a 3 a moment ago.
Clearly an emphasis to try to go inside. First possession was Jones. This possession, they've wanted to try to go into Mack. Now it's Jones again.
5 to shoot. Fadeaway jumper missed by Jones, and the weak side rebound by Williams for Furman.
Interesting. We've got the game within the game. We've got some interesting matchups out here. Can Tripp contain Mike Bothwell? Can Pavletsky contain Pegues?
Shot for 3, short by Slauson, rebound Wofford. Second half adjustments, what do you expect to see?
Well, I don't think either coach is going to deviate much from half-court man-to-man defense. Offensively, right, you've got to try to get Mack and Pavletsky some open looks.
A pushing foul up front. It's on Marcus Foster. Number 5 in purple, his first foul of the game.
Bob Ritchie's got a nice core. It's a starting 5, but then when you get play like what you did from Alex Williams, Ben Vanderwall, even Carter Witt off the bench. Now if you're going 8 deep, they will have to play this half without 6'9" forward Garrett Heem.
Here's Tripp weaving through traffic into Jones's hands, outside Sybils, open 3, and puts it in. Jackson Sybils, his first points of the game as he dials from deep, and it's Wofford in the lead by 5.
You've got to guard the transfer from Murray State outside the arc. Arguably played his best game in a Terrier uniform at Western Carolina this week.
And Slauson misses the bunny inside, rebound Wofford in the lead by 5. 2 minutes gone by here in the second half of play.
Boy, Mack casually brought it up the court, almost had a backcourt violation.
Here's Sybils, hit a 3 a moment ago for Furman. Into Pavletsky's hands, shot clock at 8. Pavletsky, step back 3. Not this time, rebound into Sybils' hands, puts it in, and he's fouled. A chance for a 3-point play.
Sybils has come out of the gate right here and been the X factor. He makes the 3, and he comes back with the offensive rebound effort play. And one opportunity. Bob Ritchie wants a timeout.
An 8-0 run by Wofford to begin the second half. It is Wofford by 7 here in Spartanburg.
True story. Statement games can make or break championship resumes.
This is not a final exam. This is a midterm.
It's a top 10 showdown and a clash of old school blue bloods. Experience the SEC Big 12 Challenge doubleheader Saturday on ESPN.
And that will be fun to watch. Dean, how about Kansas, Kentucky, the top two winningest teams in college basketball history, to do battle against each other at Rupp Arena?
Yeah, it doesn't get much better than that. A lot at stake. Kentucky trying to claw their way back into NCAA talk. Still a lot of basketball to be played, but as you head toward February, it's not so much about your record, but it's about where you're headed as a team. And John Calipari has turned things around here in the last 10 days for the Wildcats.
So Furman down 8, still looking for its first points here in the second half. A 9-0 run by Wofford to begin the second half, but not until Jalen Slauson slams it down. That's only his second basket of the game. He has 5 points.
He can certainly do that. And he's expanded his game in recent years where he can use it more than one dribble.
Jones free inside, missing with the left hand. Rebound Furman. It's a Furman team that we were just told Garrett Heen is out of the game for the rest of the game. Took a elbow to the head in the first half earlier in the game.
Watch Slauson right here. He just goes by Jones like he's in cement boots. And Mack gets caught with his back turned, so an easy finish.
And how about the growth of this young man? 4 years ago as a freshman, scored only 19 points the entire season.
Had more fouls than points, and now he's going to be a 1,500 career point scorer, reigning defensive player of the year, trying to get this team to the NCAA tournament. I mean, just that speaks volumes about him as a young person and player, and you'd hope that young players see that. Stay the course. Work while you have to wait.
Sybil's outside Mack, wide open. Rims out that three. Fight for the rebound, cleared by J.P. Pegues. Up the floor, Ben Vanderwall drives in and scores. There's Tyrese Huey, sixth man with the Furman team. He's in street clothes, out today. Garrett Heen is out, so now the Furman bench is even thinner.
Yeah, Bob Ritchie having to manage things right here.
Sybil's can't convert. Offensive rebound by Filowich, out to Mack, his three. It's good! That's his third three of the game. He has 13 points, and it's Wofford by 7.
Again, his stats don't bear out how good he is when his feet are set behind the arc. A dangerous guy at his size that can make shots from 25 feet.
Pegues stopped to Foster's hands, open three, and down it goes. A three by Marcus Foster, his first basket of the day.
It can't be understated. You just said it, that Bob Ritchie now having to manage a much shorter bench with Tyrese Huey in street clothes and Garrett Heen now not able to play this half because of taking an elbow in the first. So a much shorter bench for Furman.
Pavlovsky drives inside against Slauson. Slauson called for the foul, his third foul of the game.
It is back and forth inside Richardson Indoor Stadium. One of the few bad things that Sybil's has done this half, but never mind that. B.J. Mack will clean it up. Another three for the big fella.
Here's our Big Monday doubleheader on ESPN and on the app. Duke is in Blacksburg taking on Virginia Tech at 7 Eastern. Then we head to Waco, Texas for Keontae George and number 21 Baylor, squaring off against Jalen Wilson and second-ranked Kansas. Big Monday tomorrow night on ESPN and the ESPN app. So the Furman Paladins come out of the huddle down 4, 55-51. And for Wofford, Dean, how about the shooting? 54% overall as a team from the floor and 50% from three.
7 of 14 behind the arc, led by B.J. Mack. And you know what else? They've only turned the ball over 4 times. And it's not always what you do right, but it's what you don't do wrong that helps you win basketball games.
Filowich inside, can't convert, late foul called, and he'll head to the line and shoot 2. Fouls on Marcus Foster for Furman, and that's his second.
I said it in the first half. Filowich, a guy that really plays his role well. Nice little pass right there by Mack on the baseline. Gets it by 2 Paladin defenders.
And we talk about the transfer portal. This is one of the newcomers on the team for Wofford. He's one of 10 newcomers. Transferred from Southern Illinois. Last year, 31 games, 4 starts. 2 years ago, made the Missouri Valley Conference all-freshman team. He has 2 points in the game, 0 for 1 on this trip at the line.
He's one of those guys, he's better from the floor than he is the free throw line. Sometimes you just want to tell those guys to shoot a jump shot from 15 feet.
Wofford by 5, inside 15 minutes to go. Pegues driving inside, all the way left hand, no. Rebound on the deck, it's out of bounds. It'll stay with Furman.
Tice took an elbow right there. I'm not sure if it's his lip or a tooth. He's calling to come out of the game. I don't think the officials are going to look at anything, and he's running back in the concourse right there. Amari Tice gave them just terrific minutes in the first half. Didn't have gaudy stats. He had 3 rebounds. Watch it here again. I think he's under the basket, and then there's just a couple of different. There you see the elbow by Bothwell.
And the officials going to check. Anthony Jordan, Olandis Poole, Billy Dunlap, the officiating crew.
Well, by rule, they really have to. They have to go to it with Tice kind of asking out. And now they're going to bring the crew in to really look at it one more time. Is it a basketball play or is it excessive? And I think, by the way, the ball was just bouncing, right? I think Bothwell's hands just kind of went up, but boy, it is one of those 50-50.
And Olandis Poole, one of the officials, just looked at us and said, nothing there to see, so we continue.
I love the use, and you see there the trainer working on Tice, trying to get back in the game, but I love the use of video. I just don't like that teams can go to their huddle during that time.
That's a free timeout, right?
Absolutely.
Backdoor pass, and scoring inside is J.P. Pegues. His first points of the second half give him 18 for the game.
A terrific set call right there by Bob Ritchie out of what was essentially a timeout.
Mack, step back jumper, leaves it short. Rebound by Carter Witt for Furman, playing a couple of minutes in the first half. Pegues hit 4 threes in the first half. He's yet to make a 3 in the second half. Outside, Carter Witt, shot rejected, ball tipped around into Foster's hands. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Here's Vanderwall, steps into a 3 and knocks it down. A 3 for Furman.
J.P. Pegues had so much to do with the success of that possession. I mean, he tipped the ball out to Foster, then he gets credited with the assist. Terrific basketball play right there.
An 8-1 run by Furman to tie the game up at 56. Filowich bumped and fouled by Vanderwall. That's his second, and Amari Tice looks to be okay. He's going to check back in.
It's a good sign. You got to watch the inbounder. Freshman Adam Silek gets caught ball watching. That's what happens. Nice job, and a nice job by Pegues there to thank his teammate for giving the assist. Goes back to Dean Smith, started that many years ago. Thank the guy who gave you the pass.
Jones inside, back outside to Tice, 10 to shoot. Jones spinning on Foster, driving inside, left hand rejected on the weak side by Slusson and taken by Pegues. Pegues creating down the lane, scores a 2.
J.P. Pegues, all due respect to Alex Hunter. He is making Furman fans forget about him as arguably one of the greatest point guards in Furman history.
And J.P. Pegues ties his career high with 20 points. Paveletzky inside, no. Jones the putback, yes.
A little talking going on right here. I love it. You don't think these guys know what's at stake in the standings, the rivalry?
Ball knocked away to Foster's hands, puts up a three, rims out on him. Vanderwall is there for the putback. 9 points by Ben Vanderwall, 7 in the second half.
And he's been big off the bench for Furman. He's going to need to be, right? Again, with Huey and Heen out. Sometimes it's the unexpected guys that can step up and make plays when the plays break down.
McCorkle steps into a three. That's off the mark. Run down, out of bounds off of Wofford, back to Furman.
There's been some defense to offense on both sides. Watch the block from the help side from Slauson, and then it's off to the races. And that's generally where good shot blockers, they don't necessarily block their own offensive players' shots. They come from the help side, and then they turn that into points at the other end. Well, J.P. Pegues getting a much-needed break. He'll probably be back after the 12-minute media timeout.
Here's Bothwell. He's back in, so is Williams. Vanderwall, another three. That's way off the mark, and it's caught by Amari Tice, and he's fouled as we go to break. 11:59 to go in the game of the SoCon in Spartanburg. It is Furman in the lead by 2. Late in last year's SoCon Tournament Championship game, Furman's Mike Bothwell scores with 5 seconds left to take a 63-61 lead for Furman, but Chattanooga's David Jean-Baptiste hits a deep three at the buzzer, breaking the Paladins' hearts and sending the Mocs to the big dance. 64-61 the final.
Well, it's mid-major basketball. You see the heartbreak right there by the Paladins when that shot went in by Jean-Baptiste, and that's part of the reason why those two guys right there, Bothwell and Slauson, have come back for their 5th year. It's been 1980 was the last Furman team to play in the NC2A tournament. They want to change that. They want to set their legacy, and they've got a chance to do it. But first things first, they need to win here on the road.
Tripp fakes the three, goes baseline, Mack inside, couple of pump fakes, lays it up and lays it in. 15 points for BJ Mack. We're tied at 60. And for Furman, Mike Bothwell, he's back on the floor for the Paladins. Dean Bothwell, no field goals made since the 9-minute mark of the first half. How do they get him involved?
Well, he can do it with or without the ball. I think you got to put him in situations where he can get one-on-one opportunities.
Here's Slauson, draws the double, scores the basket and a foul, and Jalen Slauson heads to the line for a potential three-point play.
Now that was good basketball right there. Slauson and the Furman Paladins recognized that he was one-on-one with Paveletzky. Now, as soon as he was already into his shooting motion when Civils came to help on the blind side, at that point, Slauson was already into his shooting motion, and he's strong enough and big enough to finish over those two Wofford guards.
And Bob Ritchie says Slauson, his scoring is up this year. He's been driving the ball better. He's been splitting time 50-50 between playing the 5 spot and the 4. Nails the free throw there. Furman 10 of 15 at the line, and Furman back in the lead by 3. Paveletzky drives baseline. And into the hands of Tripp, now Mack. Mack against Slauson. Draws the double team, banks it in. BJ Mack, back-to-back buckets. He has 17 points.
That was terrific footwork. That was just better offense over really good defense. Against Slauson, the reigning defensive player of the year in the league. He's got a couple of block shots here today, but BJ Mack just better offensively. He's got another opportunity to go one-on-one.
Williams, that's a three. Got it. A three by Williams, his 3rd of the game.
He had been quiet after an outstanding first half. He, along with Vanderwall and Witt, kind of the 3 guys now. That's the Furman bench with Heen and Huey not available.
Paveletzky slips inside, outside Tice, open 3. And Civils the offensive rebound. Too strong on that shot. Might have been partially blocked from behind. Taken by Furman. Here comes Witt. Alley-oop lob broken up. Into the hands of Bothwell, and the Paladins will reset.
Well, good transition defense by Wofford right there.
Bothwell against Mack. Goes inside. No, but he's fouled. He'll head to the line and shoot 2.
And that's just what we talked about. When he can get in one-on-one situations where he can put the defense on their heels. Mack first on the other end. Watch this footwork. Up, under, and through 2 Paladins. Slauson once traveling. No, not at all. That was just an outstanding play. Then at the other end, he was trying to guard Bothwell one-on-one. And Mike Bothwell can put you in tough situations when he can get you one-on-one and help doesn't come.
First point for Bothwell in the second half. He has 13 for the game. As a couple of subs come in for Wofford, Jones and Martin back in, replacing Tice and Civils.
And that's the thing, Bob Ritchie's talked about it with Bothwell. That's now his, 13th point. He'll end up with 20, but he'll do it in a way where it's a part of the flow of the offense. He doesn't force, not that he ever did, but he's really become a complete basketball player at the offensive end.
And Furman's lead is up to 6. Mack. And Tripp. Tight ropes the sideline. Pavletsky driving inside. Crawls off the rim for him, and the rebound by Pegues for Furman. Outside Vanderwall, now to Bothwell's hands.
A couple of misses, just point blank for Wofford, and they find themselves down 6.
2-man game inside. Basket counts and a foul. Jalen Slauson now in double figures with 10 points.
And this is a difficult time right now for Wofford. Watch Slauson again. Terrific pass by J.P. Pegues. Just threads the needle. Slauson knows how to finish, even with contact. Momentum has no allegiance. It has shifted back and forth all day long inside Richardson Indoor Stadium.
Yeah, it's been like a boxing match here tonight. Wofford threw the first punch. Furman countered, fought back. It's been back and forth all day long, and now it's Furman in the lead by 8. So now if you're Wofford, what does it go back to try and get back into this game?
Well, offensively, I mean, they've gotten some good looks here in the last couple possessions. Jackson Civils missed one inside, and then that last possession, Pavletsky went right down the lane and missed the left hand. I mean, just a couple that have rimmed out. It's not necessarily anything Furman's doing defensively. They just haven't been able to connect, but it's a dangerous time right now. They're down 8. A potential free throw by Slauson makes it 9. You can't give this Furman team the confidence where they just start free-flowing.
It's one of the great rivalries in the Southern Conference. Furman against Wofford. Furman located in Greenville, South Carolina. Wofford right here in Spartanburg, South Carolina, about 40 miles apart here in the Palmetto State.
Well said. Yeah, there's a couple in this league. Yesterday, the Citadel played at VMI, and what an outstanding environment that was. 2 military institutions. And then when Chattanooga and ETSU were good, that's also a terrific rivalry in this league.
So Slauson can't complete the three-point play opportunity. Furman by 8 as we approach 9 minutes to go in the game.
You've got to get the ball in Pavletsky's hands to try to create, maybe not for himself, but for others.
Tice on the baseline, 5 to shoot. Mack has it. Mack with 3, puts up a 3. Rims out on him. Good box out defense by Furman. Here comes Pegues. They swing it to Williams. Open 3 on the way. Down it goes. Another 3 by Williams. His 4th of the night. He has 16 points.
My goodness. Williams, arguably the best game he's had in a Paladin uniform.
A 10-0 run by Furman. Out of bounds to the Paladins. It's Furman by 11. That's the largest lead of the game for Furman.
And another nice opportunity right there. Corey Tripp pulled up in the paint. Dwight Perry knows, and we're getting some good looks. But if you're not doing it at the offensive end, you sure as heck better do it at the defensive end and come up with some stops.
Williams, another three. Not this time. Left it short. Paveletzky, the rebound for Wofford. And Wofford wants to push. Paveletzky all the way inside. Puts it in. His first points of the second half give him 17 for the game.
I keep saying, he's listed at 175 pounds, but he competes with the big boys. He's confident. He's talented. He's played over 25 minutes without a turnover in a high-level game.
Lead is 9 for Furman. Foster, Bothwell, Slauson, 6 to shoot. Slauson falls down, traveling on Furman. It's 7th of the game, and the timeout on the court. 7:26 remaining in the game. Furman on the road, leading by 9 here on ESPNU. Back in Spartanburg, and Dean for Furman. Alex Williams has played very well here tonight. 16 points off the bench.
Very well is an understatement. Boy, the sophomore out of Xenia, Ohio, has been fantastic. And when they've needed it, the Paladins have gone to him. He is 4 of 8 behind the arc. He entered today shooting just 7 of 28. Right behind the arc, 25%. You see the stats right there. He's on the bench right now, but boy, he has provided a much-needed lift when they have needed it, particularly with 2 guys in Tyrese Huey and Garrett Heen out of the rotation right now.
So 7:20 remaining in the game. Furman with its biggest lead of the game of 11. Shot for 3 goes down by Carson McCorkle, his first points of the day, and the lead is down to 6.
And just what the doctor ordered for Wofford. Talked about Alex Williams off the bench making threes. That's what McCorkle can do.
Bothwell in the lane. Teardrop floater goes in. 16 points for Mike Bothwell.
I've seen Mike Bothwell too much over the last 5 years. He will not go down quietly.
Paveletzky trying to create. Fadeaway jumper goes down. That was the same shot he hit in the game winner at Mercer earlier this season.
Exactly right. Back to defender in, and then just a little spin and squeeze the trigger for the basket.
So hard to guard. Such a great freshman player for this team. Foster stopped, needs help. And finds Slauson. Slauson, turnaround jumper over Mack, and it goes in.
Oh, what a soft touch. The double team never came. Wofford chose to play one-on-one. Mack on Slauson. Slauson recognized it. He's pretty good on the baseline.
Paveletzky on the drive. Adjusts his shot in midair and scores over Pegues.
After taking a hit, but you can't celebrate against Wofford, against Furman. You've got to get back.
Pegues. Fight for the rebound and jump ball. They say the arrow stays with Furman.
Paveletzky trying to bring him back. Again, backs in Pegues. Reverse pivots into that shot you mentioned. And then the last possession, the hit, the finish. Boy, toughness by the freshman.
Well, Furman has slowed him down somewhat in the second half. He had 15 points in the first half, 21 now for the game. He's really had to work, though, for those 6 points here in the second half.
He has, but he shows no signs of hitting any kind of a wall. These fans recognize every possession now as we inch toward the 5-minute mark. Really critical for Wofford defensively.
6 to shoot. Bothwell with 5 in the corner, wide open. Vanderwall missing the 3. Rebound crashed and secured by Tripp. Here comes Paveletzky trying to bring his team back. Tripp stopped.
You've got to recognize, too, if you're Wofford, next foul, you're in the bonus.
Here's Mack. A couple of pump fakes, leans inside, banks it in. 19 points for B.J. Mack, and the lead is down to 4. Now it's back up to 6 on the slam by Slauson.
I sound like a broken record. You simply cannot celebrate in any form or fashion when you're playing Furman. You've got to get back to the paint and build the house defensively.
Paveletzky slips inside. Looked like he had an opening. Instead, passes to Tripp. He's in the lane. His shot is well short. Rebounded by Vanderwall for Furman. Slauson finds an opening down the lane. Two-hand slam, and he's fouled, and a chance for a three-point play.
Just like that, in the blink of an eye, boy, you thought that tide was turning toward Wofford, and Jalen Slauson takes the matters into his own hands. First, he runs the paint, he runs the floor after a made Wofford basket. Then he dribbles it just about the length of the floor and finishes in similar fashion.
And Slauson was pretty much a non-factor in the first half. Had just 3 points, 1 basket. He has 11 points here since the halftime break. 79% free throw shooter, knocks it down, nothing but net. He has 15 points, and Furman hitting its free throws, 13 of 19 in the game. There's Garrett Heen. He took an elbow to the head early in this game, has not returned, so he's out. Tyrese Huey, the 6th man for the team for Furman. He did not dress tonight. He's not feeling well, so it's a slim and thin bench for Furman, but different guys have stepped up, and it's Furman by 9, 4:20 to go. Cross-court pass, nearly stolen away. McCorkle has it, hangs in the air. Rebound Vanderwall for Furman. Approaching 4 minutes to go.
There have been a lot of stars here at both sides, but there's a reason Jalen Slauson and Mike Bothwell are littered all over the Furman record books.
Bothwell stopped into Williams' hands. Mid-range jumper goes down. 17, correction, it's 18 points for Alex Williams, 1 shy of his season high of 19.
He played well against Citadel in that 19-point performance, but didn't play this well.
Mack just rims out a 3, and Filowich lands on the back of Slauson, who was trying to box him out. He was basically surfing on his back. Timeout of the court.
Well, the largest lead is tied by Furman at 11, due in part to Jalen Slauson. He has been the man here in the last couple minutes.
It's the SEC Big 12 Challenge. Oh my goodness!
Back and forth we go.
Boy, that is just perfect.
There's no question. We got some ballers here.
This is one of those chances to make a statement.
It is not for the faint of heart.
Got it! We got a ball game.
SEC Big 12 Challenge coming up next weekend on January 28th. Brock Bowling and Dean Keener with you. There's Kyler Filowich. How about the body surfing here by Filowich on top of Slauson?
Jalen Slauson has put his teammates on his back here in the last couple minutes. That's why Furman is up 11. Now he's putting the opponents on his back. And SC not top 10.
I think I'd put that in the regular top 10. I mean, that was good. That's hard to do.
He has played really well here. It has been a collective effort, though. I mean, Alex Williams off the bench, J.P. Pegues, career-tying 20 points.
Missing the free throw, offensive rebound, and then a steal by Pegues. Pegues racing down the floor, reverse layup, no, tapped up and in by Vanderwall.
And it was the fans want, the home crowd wanted goaltending, but that ball was just off. You had to have the right angle to understand it was off the rim.
And Furman with its biggest lead of the day of 13 points. Filowich inside, score and a foul, a chance for a three-point play.
Wofford's not going to go away quietly, I can tell you that. But they've got to start stringing some stops together. Amazingly, that was the first turnover of the second half for Wofford, but it led to points.
So here's Kyler Filowich. The coaching staff said before the game that Filowich, he's a smart player, and the staff says it knows what it'll get each time out when Filowich goes onto the floor. Plays with a lot of hustle, a lot of heart. Missing 2 straight free throws, though. 3 minutes to go. Furman in the lead by 11.
You just simply got to dig in. You can't allow this. You can't allow Bothwell in one-on-one situations. He's simply too good. It's the second time now in the last couple minutes he's been able to get BJ Mack one-on-one. First it was in the corner in front of the Furman bench. This last time at the top of the key. Mack thinks he got all ball, but there was a lot of body as well.
So Bothwell at the line, 16 points. He had 12 in the first half, just 4 here in the second half. Had a 22-point performance on Wednesday in the win on the road at Chattanooga. Furman currently in third place in the league, and Wofford in 6th as Bothwell goes to the line to shoot 2. First one is good. Tennis's first major of the year rolls on down under. Our round of 16 Australian Open coverage continues tonight, 7 Eastern on ESPN Plus and ESPNU.
Bothwell has only taken 5 shots. He now has 18 points, 11 of 12 from the free throw line. And they throw a little 3-quarter court pressure just to slow up and take some time off the clock.
Offensive foul called on Pavletsky. That's his second of the game.
And they had played 17 minutes without a turnover. Now 2 turnovers. As you watch it here again, where you make the call at home. Freshman on freshman. Vanderwall, was he in legal guarding position? He was outside the arc, but certainly that's a difficult play to call. Bang, bang. Is the guy set? Is he in legal guarding position?
So here comes Furman up by 13 as we have 2.5 to go. One of the all-time great rivalries in the Southern Conference, separated by just about 40 miles down the road in the Palmetto State of South Carolina. Bothwell working inside, can't finish, neither can Slauson. Over the back foul called on Slauson. He's fouled out of the game.
Mark it down at the 2:20 mark. I know it's a 13-point Furman lead, but that sends Slauson to the bench. And you've already got a short bench. And it sends Wofford to the free throw line. Opportunity to put points on the board. Bob Ritchie trying to figure out which way he's going to go. He's going to play small.
So Slauson fouls out of the game, 15 points. 12 of the 15 coming after the halftime break.
Slauson was great, and he, as much as any Paladin, is the reason they have a double-digit lead here in the second half.
Messiah Jones at the line, 6 points. Preseason All-SoCon selection this year, had 10 points, 4 boards in Wednesday night's loss at Western Carolina. First half of the 1-1, and it goes in. There's a Tyrese Huey with the multicolored shoes. What do you think of those?
I like. I like.
I kind of do too.
I'm sure my kids would say I'm much too conservative to wear something like that, but Huey wears them well.
And a timeout taken by Bob Ritchie. And Furman will be back in 30 seconds after this on ESPNU. Back in Spartanburg after the timeout taken by Bob Ritchie and Furman. Furman by 12, 2:09 to go. And what does Furman talk about here to try and close out the game?
Yeah, I think Bob Ritchie wanted to take a timeout to talk through the lineup, right? Slauson fouled out. You don't have Garrick Heen because of injury, or Tyrese Huey, so you're playing potentially some combinations and some guys in roles that maybe they haven't been in before. So let's talk through. You know Wofford's going to start pressing. You know they're going to start coming at you, so you got to take care of the ball, beat every pass. Remind them that the possession arrow favors you, Furman. Also remind them that you're in the bonus. So lots to talk about if you're Bob Ritchie.
Last year, Wofford won 22 games. This year, so far, 14. There's Bob Ritchie. Bob Ritchie 22 or more wins in 4 of the last 5 seasons. We talked about it in the first half. The only season he did not win 20 games, the COVID year 2 years ago, a lot of cancellations and postponements. His team still won 16.
Just an outstanding coach, a leader of men. His record speaks for himself as we almost see it over and back right there.
Loose ball tie-up, and the arrow stays with Furman.
I think there's a question of the possession arrow.
Yeah, Furman,
right? Was it not flipped?
Yeah, Furman got the last possession. They just never changed the arrow. So it goes back to Wofford, down 12, 2:03 to go.
And I'm sorry, I said that it was Furman ball as we were coming out of the timeout based on looking at the scorer's table. So a big turn of events right there for Wofford. Now they got to capitalize and put points on the board.
Pavletsky. Oh, nice spin move inside. Banks it in.
Well, he's got such a knack and a feel for where the defense is and where they're going to get the shot off.
Wofford cuts it to 10. Tripp fouls Pegues. That's Tripp's first.
Pegues just a 65% free throw shooter. Now, I don't know that you would know that from watching him play today and how good he's been from behind the arc. 4 of 9 from 3.
Against Chattanooga on the road on Wednesday, he had 11 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. He has 20 points in this game. Make it 21, a new career high for J.P. Pegues. 21 points in today's game.
And that free throw didn't look at all like a 65% free throw shooter. A couple of dribbles, good rhythm, and a follow through. That one just reeks in after a victory lap.
22 points for Pegues. He had 4 threes in the first half. No threes here in the second half, but still 22 points. Mack in the lane, drops it in. 21 points for B.J. Mack. Timeout taken by Wofford.
Well, now it's time for Dwight Perry to talk through strategy. I would assume that he's going to put full court pressure on Furman. Going to talk about who you're going to put at the line if you don't come up with a steal. You can ill afford to let him burn 30 seconds or thereabouts off the clock.
In a few weeks will be the SoCon tournament up the road in Asheville, North Carolina. And if your team wins the conference tournament, there's a good chance your coach might leave.
Well, you know, it speaks to the volumes of the commitment that the presidents and the athletic directors have in this conference, not just for basketball, but across the board athletics. But specifically, you see right there's been some outstanding coaches that have gone on. Mike Young and Steve Forbes to the ACC, Wes Miller to the AAC, and Lamont Paris last year on the heels of that win against Furman that we saw. All great coaches. Left the programs in good situations, but again, that's part of the reason I think there's some balance this year as well, is when there are changes, sometimes transfers and player departures can occur, and so it takes some time to get things settled the right way.
Full court pressure put on by Wofford, and Furman going to break it easily. 90 seconds to go. They foul Bothwell. Furman by 10 with 1:30 left.
It's not a guy you want to foul, but I don't know that the Terriers had much of really an option. I said it earlier, Mike Bothwell is going to find his way to a 20-point game. Makes a couple of free throws here, and he hits it. He does so in just so many different ways. He'll do it by making threes. He'll do it by driving to the rim and finishing with contact. Today he does it by way of the free throw line. His leadership, his ability to distribute the ball. That's why he's one of the SoCon's best.
Makes them both. He has 20. This is a very good Paladin free throw shooting team, shooting 75% as a team coming into today. And making free throws this afternoon as well. Pavletsky scores again. And Pavletsky has a new career high, 25 points. Timeout, Wofford. With 1:22 to go.
And you see Bob Ritchie's son right there in the middle. in the gray t-shirt. He travels when school really doesn't get in the way. He'll be on the bus, and well, he's been a part of this Paladin program since he was in a stroller. My guess is he's got a couple of buddies on each side of him that made the 45-minute trip from Greenville.
So Furman by 10. And one thing Bob Ritchie talked about before the game as far as keys today versus Wofford, he said play with pace on offense, bring good energy, and defend well.
Check, check, and check, right? I mean, playing with pace, and their pace is a faster pace. 92 points. And they've also done the little things, right? They've taken some charges. They've won their fair share of 50-50 balls. All these things matter, especially on the road.
And how about the play today of J.P. Pegues for Furman?
Well, you can't say enough about the sophomore point guard. I mean, you know, Bob Ritchie said it, you repeated it, arguably the most improved player in the Southern Conference. There are others in that conversation, but boy, this has become his team in the sense of he's the point guard. Right? Bothwell and Slauson are the leaders. They're vocal, but Pegues knows how to run a team right now. 20-plus points, 4 assists, just 1 turnover in 30 minutes of play. Most points, by the way, by the Paladins here in Spartansburg since 1970, when they put 109 on the Terriers in Benjamin Johnson Arena.
Pegues to inbound, full court pressure put on by Wofford. Pegues finds Vanderwall. Into Pegues' hands, he's fouled. J.P. Pegues, 6'1", sophomore from Nashville. Last year, played in 29 games, averaged 3 points, 1 rebound. This year, averaging 9 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists per game.
Well, he recognized he was playing behind Alex Hunter. Right, 156 career games.
Those are tough shoes to fill.
No question. 122 starts, won a ton of games. This is a true program that really was started by Nico Medved when Bob Ritchie was an assistant. Nico then went to Drake for a year. He's now doing great things at Colorado State. But Bob Ritchie, it's a program, and what I mean by that, look, Stephen Kroon, Matt Rafferty, Jordan Lyons, Clay Mounts playing professionally. Noah Gurley transferred and is playing and starting for Alabama. You know, and Alex Hunter, Conley Garrison, I could go on and on. I mean, really good players that just, they graduate, but this Furman team just remains at the top of the Southern Conference in men's basketball.
Corey Tripp misfires from 3. Rebound Alex Williams. Into Pegues' hands. He's fouled by Sibbles. And Pegues will go to the line again.
And the Furman bench and faithful kind of sense it right now. Pegues will walk back to the line where, boy, he's been solid there, just like behind the arc.
And you got to think last year in practice every day, going up against Alex Hunter, that had to have made him a better player.
No question about it. And it speaks to the character of Pegues and this program, where there was never any doubt that he was going, along with Joe Anderson and Carter Witt, who transferred it, right, that he was still going to be an integral part of this team. There was no, well, I think I might transfer because I'm not playing as a freshman, that you see so prevalent in today's game.
26 points for J.P. Pegues. We have 1 minute to go. Mack throws up a 3. That rims out. Rebound Bothwell. Furman in complete command, up 14, under a minute to go.
And it's a big win for Furman. Keeps them within striking distance of the Samford Bulldogs and UNCG Spartans.
Bothwell goes up for the slam, misses it. Rebound Wofford. Here comes Tripp up the floor. Can't convert. Sibbles put back, no. Rebound Foster with 30 seconds to go.
It's going to be an interesting race to the finish line in the Southern Conference.
Shot clock and game clock virtually identical. Pegues just going to dribble out the clock. Shot clock will go off. 1.5 remaining.
Got to applaud Dwight Perry, Ty Anderson, Will Murphy, and the staff at Wofford. Just didn't have enough today against a really talented Furman team.
And that is it. Final score, Furman 96, Wofford 82. For Dean Keener and our entire crew, Brock Bowling saying so long from Wofford. This has been a presentation of ESPN. Up next, we go to Boulder, Colorado. It's Washington State against Colorado. We'll send you out to Eric Rothman and Adrian Branch.